What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me we have some more RPG horror stories. Right now, a lot of people are on break, and at the moment, I know that y'all want to see Mary and Micah join in for more stuff, but...
Hello, what are you doing? Are you watching this idiot? Don't listen to this idiot. Listen to me. I am the idiot you should listen to. This Friday, December 29th at 6 p.m. EST, we're going to be doing a first proper stream on Tales Tomorrow channel. See you this Friday. Back to that idiot over there. Bye-bye.
But as soon as they're free, hopefully sometime in January, we'll get them together for more RPG horror stories, I guarantee it. Anyway, for now you have to just deal with me, Morrow, the lone tiefling, and some RPG horror stories for today. DM auto-captures and kills my character after spending a wish to resurrect. We're playing in an overpowered Pathfinder 1E campaign. I'd made it most of the way with a lawful neutral half-blue dragon fighter cleric, Gestalted. What a word collection, oh my god. I'm not surprised you threw in like 6th generation, 7th generation, part 7, episode 242 with that. Anyway, sorry, let's keep going. The story was that my character was a lawbringer and had been set out to stop a great evil. He died in a near TPK in the sewers under an enemy base, where only one character, a druid, escaped as a sparrow. My next character was a wizard monk, specializing in dimensional assault, but his story was that he was the partner of my first character, who'd been set out to avenge his fallen comrade. At some point, wizard gets a wish, so because it fits the story, I wish to have my original character resurrected. DM immediately told me I couldn't bring him back and play as him, which I said was fine. I don't mind. It would have just felt good to have him survive and go on untold other adventures. After the session, the DM pulls me aside and says we're going to run my other character, who's immediately captured and bound. Mind you, it's been weeks since my previous character died. I instantly take issue with it because 1, why I wasn't allowed to escape after resurrecting in what could have been a garbage pile or mass grave. 2, even if I was resurrected, some could see I was a very formidable force and could try to brute my way to escape. I don't really know, but maybe the DM is trying to set up for some sort of a story plot or something to like make the characters reunite and have like a, I don't know, plot point together. Maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe there's like a narrative reason. Maybe the DM is cooking something up, cooking like a cool thing to have your other character that died become an NPC and become super useful or something. I don't know. The DM just brushed it off and dragged my bound character to a room with a demigod, I assumed, where I was forced to grab the fork of the Forgotten One. Since I was lawful, this instantly disintegrated me. Or your character just gets disintegrated because they touched a fork? What was the point for this? This really made me feel down. I'd spent a wish on something for pure story and roleplay reasons. You have a character with access to plenty of divine magic, escape, and go on other adventures, not benefiting my current character in any way. To have him there and re-killed like that felt awful. Yeah, I think it would feel awful for anybody. You literally spend wish. Wish is like a monkey's paw. And I get if your character is captured and stuff, but like, what's the point of re-killing them again? Did the DM think you're gonna just like hijack the character or be able to swap between two characters or play out the characters? If you specifically told to the DM that, hey, I just want the character to just live and that's it. I don't want to play as him. I don't want him to be part of the story. I don't want to be like a companion or something. I just want him to just live. To have him re-kill is just, it's stupid. Why? Or was this like a plot point to get your wizard to be more angry at whatever Forgotten One or the cult or whatever demigod who set up like a new bad guy, a new BBAG as part of the story? Was that the reason? Yeah, I don't know, man. This feels really weird. Honestly, I'll probably just drop the DM and just go play something else. The DM doesn't seem like they know what they're doing, or they're just running with stuff for the sake of running with stuff. I don't get it. I don't get it one bit. DM ruins a plotline that could have been great for world building by fetishizing it. A table I played a little while ago, there was a little plotline involving the royals of kingdoms the campaign is set in, and now they really aren't who they're cracked up to be, specifically the king and the older princess. The first in line to the throne is Princess Seraphina, with many allegations of corruption, violations of trade agreement, and even the molding of slaves, many of which are children. The younger prince, Alaric, is 12 years old and has been tortured to have the memories of his father orchestrating a massacre erased, and the torture essentially lobotomized him, turning him into an obedient, almost robotic boy. The youngest princess is hidden from the public and kept in a cellar due to her status as a bastard, since his queen had an affair with the knight and died after giving birth to the princess. This was an amazing plotline, as the biological father of the younger princess helped us free his daughter and they have a happy ending. Here comes the horror part. The DM was notorious in a chat board for having a Femdom Fetish, which he projected onto us in a story of the oldest prince, Ramiel. For anybody that doesn't know what Femdom Fetish is basically being done by femme. Dommy mommy that steps on you and whips you and tortures you in every way. Weirdly enough, I know some dommy mommies. Not like professionally, but like, you know, to do for fun. I joke with some friends about them being dommy mommies, but I'm pretty sure one of them has like an actual sex dungeon. When we met Ramiel, we know he resents his wife, Sharua, due to his father's preference for her over him, since she is more traditionally masculine and strong than he is. How she rarely home and leaves him to care for the disturbing amount of children, and how she's always drunk when coming home and acts aggressive towards him and their children. I don't know what that means. We learned the backstory where Ramiel got captured and Sharua was a mercenary who rescued him, and the prize was Ramiel's hand in marriage. The first red flag was the age difference, where Ramiel was 17 and Sharua was 25 when she rescued him. It has been 10 years since. But there was a strong implication that Sharua essentially coerced Ramiel into having sex with her as a reward, and threatened to chop off his dingling if he said no. A tablemate told DM that was completely unnecessary to the plot. He also mentioned that they have so many children because when she approaches him to have sex with her, he is so terrified of saying no to her that he consents. If you try to build like a BBEG that people can dislike, yeah, that's a really easy way to build a BBEG, but I mean, do players really need to know all of that as part of the story and part of being clued in on what's going on? Is that important for them to know? Do they need to know that this character Ramiel consents because they don't want to get hurt and have the dingling chopped off? I think most people, it's not consent, it's coercion at that point. So there is really no consent. The guy just being used as a sex toy at this point in order to not have his dingling chopped off. What is this, drag? Hold on one second. Is this like something that's been directly pulled from like Game of Thrones or something? I feel like this is so Game of Thronesy. Somebody ripped off Game of Thrones plot point or something. Is this important? Is this going to have like a narrative payoff for the story, or is this just to paint the bad guy as the bad guy? I don't understand. I thought this could have been a dark look into an abusive marriage with the wife being a predatory drunk abuser. But the last straw came when there was a scene where they were infiltrating the palace and walked by their door and heard them having sex. This scene was initially disturbing as we hear Sharua brutally beat their oldest son after he walked in on them. But then it became disgusting when it was implied that Ramiel enjoyed being abused and essentially by Sharua, with the justification being that he's a masochist. Never mind, it's just DM's fetish being thrown into the game for the sake of being thrown into the game because the DM is really into that sort of thing. I mean, why else would the DM go so hard into the whole thing, including having one of the children beaten for walking in on? That's just so weird, man. It's cruel and unnecessary and brutal for no reason. You guys are playing like D&D, you're not playing like Fetish Simulator 2014, right? Is that a thing? I don't know. This just feels weirdly descriptive, just oddly descriptive. The DM is on. You know what I think is going on? The DMs talk about the story, but under the table, they're just like wanking it off at this point, just really just rubbing themselves to the whole thing, thinking, yeah, and now she's gonna jump on him and force him for stuff, and just, you know, you hear like, you know, the table, under the table just going bunk, 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 as the hand hits the bottom of the table. It's gross. It's really gross. It's not to be done for like a story reason. If somebody's trying to tell a story of somebody being a terrible, horrible person, like, it's fine to describe your enemy or an antagonist being horrible, but you don't have to go in such detail about everything, like how the guy also developed masochistic tendencies and now he enjoys having this woman mount him and just use him, I don't know, like a sex toy that he is, I guess. It just feels weird and gross and unnecessary in every way. That was the final red flag for me to essentially drop out of the game. I said that I will never play any games that this man is DMing anymore. Yeah, good. Honestly, I wouldn't play with somebody like that either. It's gross. It's just weirdly gross when just DMs or players just ham-fist their fetishes into a game for the sake of having it. It's just strange. Imagine if me, Morrow, I had like an insatiable kink for succubus women. I think they're hot, but it's not insatiable. But instead, I made it so that the players travel to the land of Succulandia. Sounds like a stupid name, but you know what? We're rolling with it. Succulandia is where they travel, and every NPC is a hot, half-naked succubus lady that is so just bustling with sexual energy. Every single combat encounter is all sexy and all pent up and sexual. and every single boss fight is pent up and sexual, and instead of the succubus lair being some castle or whatever, it's a strip club with even more succubus lady. It's just would be really weird, man. The story would be like a parody or satire or like a weird fetish game. It's just don't just surprise players with surprise fetish. And it should just be a genre. You don't surprise fetish anybody in a TTRPG. If you want to describe your BBEGs or bad evil characters as horrible, evil, mean and stuff, that's fine. But there's this fine line that you just don't cross. You can imply something is happening. You can imply loosely, but to go so hard into detail for different things, like all the assault and stuff, is just so unnecessary. It's fine to describe Sharu as if like she bullies Ramiel and stuff. That's fine, like, you know, she overpowers him with raw strength because he's lanky and weak and doesn't, you know, stand up for himself. You don't have to show the event of her literally mounting him and he being, you know, used like one of those riding bulls and stuff, you know, yeehaw partner. It's fine to imply things and have it be implied in a tasteful manner. Tasteful, that's what I'm trying to think of. You gotta put it tastefully, because otherwise it just looks like you just part of a porn game. This feels like a hentai game, basically. It's not D&D, it's not TTRPG, it's a hentai game. I DM'd a session for my DM cousin last night and sincerely regretted it. He had never been on the player side of the screen before. This was his first time playing and I wanted to make it special, so I DM'd an ink continuity one-shot for our group so he could play. He is a murder hobo. Oh, this is not gonna go good at all. You run into a family with a sickly child that tell you they're refugees. A perception check shows they're not lying about themselves, but they're holding back information about your village. Wait, perception? Wouldn't it be insight? They tell you where the village is. They tell you the village is kept secret. They're desperately hoping you can help. But because he can tell they're withholding some information, he starts uncovering the family's belongings and threatening the family. He misty stabs behind the mom and wants to stab her. I'll pull a hard stop to that. If you stab her, she kills the druid. He says, okay. He holds a knife behind her. He's a warlock, a charisma caster. Not a single persuasion check attempted. It's because I'm trying to figure out my motivation. Your motivation is that this is the session I prepared. How about this? You just tell them that your motivation is you get nothing for murdering them, or stabbing them, or holding them hostage, because they're just random villagers or refugees or whatever. I get your DM is unruly and stuff. I get your cousin is being kind of unruly. They're probably playing this edgelord or expecting the worst of the worst, but you can also describe that they are unarmed. They're not a threat. They are harmless. Why are you throwing in the whole part about like they'll kill the druid? What's that supposed to mean? What's that about? We talked about a DM who declares us to be in a town, never asks us what city we want to go to or why. Where each session has a clear plot with multiple hooks that always point in the same thing. Something none of us had ever complained about because the point is playing. Okay, I see. So one DM is railroading, so the other DM is sort of pseudo-railroading as well, but I mean, not really. I don't know, man. That feels really weird. This feels really strange. Are you guys okay? Do you have any problems you want to talk out, like, outside of game? I feel like you need to stop the game and just be like, hey, are you alright? Is everything okay in life? How's the mom? How are the kids, you know? How's everything doing? You okay? You good? You want to talk about something? You just want to, you know, play Halo together and just chat about stuff? You want to play Minecraft and vent? I don't know. Feels like you guys have a lot of unresolved issues or something is going on here. I just can't put my finger on it. Other things he then did. Try to break into the house of a sickly child. Mom draws a weapon on him. How much agency do we really have in this game? You have agency, but there'll be natural consequences. You're breaking into her home with a sickly child. Wants to employ the healing waters from the village to sell and get rich. Reacted to a pattern that resembled words he couldn't understand by burning it with Eldritch Blast, destroying half the instructions to enter into the Feywild. Clearly establishes characters to be greedy. Does not swim after a gold ring in a river after failing a wisdom check despite being established as greedy. Suggests killing multiple clearly innocent people. When faced with the displacer beast, gets it to run away instead of fighting it. It would have been reasonable combat, CR3 creature for a party that is 2, 3, 4, and 4. My patron is a Fey, so I'll be more powerful in the Feywild. While you guys examining the ring, I took a 4-hour meditation break, so I have my spell slots back. Examining the ring took like 2 minutes max. Wait, why are you taking a 4-hour meditation break? If you're a warlock, you just need a short rest. 30 minutes to an hour is all you need. Why are you taking like a 4-hour break? Once at the castle, where they're gonna rescue dragons, suggest killing the rabbit soldiers? Huh? When finally given a with to head back to the material plane, argued strongly, but no one agreed with him, to kill the rabbit captain that was escorting them back. He wants to show his body to the traumatized kid in the village to say, "See, you weren't crazy." Argues to kill the rabbit captain again after that. End of session, decides to stay in the village to try and figure out how to exploit those healing waters that lose their magic 36 hours after being drawn from the stream. What do they mean by the rabbit captain? Like Harangon? Or is it just like an actual rabbit with like little suit of armor and stuff? Like tiny little baby rabbit with like a little guard uniform? Because that'd be adorable. And the worst part of it all? I am chaotic good. I have a very, very bad taste in my mouth. I can't smile if I think of the evening as a whole. I mean, at least your cousin is funny. They said they're chaotic good. When you do all these horrible atrocities and terrible things such as murder innocents, break into people's homes, hold innocent people hostage, try to steal someone's magical pool works to try to profiteer from it, steal from everybody you can see, try to kill somebody like a rabbit captain or whatever. I am chaotic good. Everything that I do is good. But I'm chaotic, so it's all good. Your character is not good in the slightest. Definitely chaotic, and I would say evil. But I mean, at least your cousin is funny. They gave it the one joke, "I am chaotic good," after murdering innocents. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.